Hey, what's going on, guys? So a lot of you guys have been asking for a Oddsview live betting session tutorial so you guys can see what the workflow is like when you're placing live bets. And you guys are right, that's something we should have done a long time ago. We'll just get right into it. Again, filters. We leave all the leagues on, we leave all the markets on, we leave the date range. I mean, it's live, so the date range doesn't really apply. Everything is going on right now. In terms of a percentage, I like to set it anywhere between 5 to 15, depending on how much action there is at the time. Odds, I don't set any odds restrictions or anything like that. If it is something huge, right? If it is like a plus 10,000, like yes, I probably won't bet it unless it's a complete monster. But you're not going to be able to see that if you're limiting yourself with the odds that you're showing. So just leave it on. In terms of min seconds available. This can actually vary a lot. Sometimes I have it 15 seconds, sometimes I have it 60 seconds, sometimes I have it 90 seconds. It depends on how much volume or how many EV bets are actually showing up, as well as just kind of how noisy the data feels that day. So I would like to leave this, let's just start with 30 seconds, but in other videos you'll see that I have it at 60, sometimes even 90. And it also depends on if it's EV or arbitrage. So let's just say for right now 30 seconds on EV. And then in terms of alts, obviously just leave your alts on. So we can just get right into it. On the left-hand side, as usual, this is our Oddsview public tracker. So anything that I click here, if I click the plus button, if I click the plus button, right, this will actually generate this little, bet tracker entry. If I click submit, it'll show up on the left hand side. So this is our way of kind of being transparent with you guys on this process. And even if we do go down a session, right, you guys understand that EV is about volume. So if you have a large enough sample size, you will extract the value of your EV over a longer period of time. That being said, right, we do like days where we still run very, very hot. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what we have. So I'd like to start with min percentage 5, and let's go to min seconds 30. Yeah, 30 sounds good just to get a feel for it. And let's see what we're working with. Again, right now is 9:45. The second half of this video is 9:45, but I've been recording since about 8 o'clock. This is prime time in general for betting, if you're going to be betting NBA or college basketball. But if you want to check when the games are going to be for the next day, just go over to pre-match. You want to see basketball, we can see there's a ton of stuff starting from tomorrow. Yeah, it looks like a couple games, 8 to 10. Let's look what college basketball is like. Yeah, college basketball is starting since like 6:30, so it's going to be a movie. Yeah, but here we are. Let's get into the live betting session. Just walk through some of the thought process. As a warning though, most of the things that you are going to click, they are going to be noise, they are going to be bets that you can't place, or maybe we don't like the conditions. The conditions aren't favorable enough to actually place them. But at the end of the day, I think at the end of like a 1 hour betting session, if you are at prime time, you're going to get down at least 30 to 60 bets. So just don't get frustrated if we click a bet, we're analyzing it, and then mid analysis, right, it goes away. Cool. Yeah, so it looks like let's see what we have. Let's take a look at this. DraftKings, it's off to FanDuel. Yeah, but it actually looks like the DraftKings line is locked, so we'll just hold on to this. One of the interesting things about our system, and this is gonna get annoying if you guys are watching a ton of our videos, but like we allow you to pin bets. So bets move so quickly. They might shift in EV, which adjusts their position in kind of the list. So what you really want to be doing, any bet that you're particularly interested in, that's interesting enough for you to actually take a look at, please go ahead and pin it so you can actually leave it there, and it won't bounce around, and it'll make your life a lot easier. So let's go over here. I'm feeling like we want to bump up these to 45 seconds just to decrease some of the noise that I'm feeling right now. Fanatics. Yeah, this just looks like general movement. Looks like they're Looks like the other books are meeting Fanatics. Fanatics actually went up. So this is very quickly not going to be a great bet. It looks like this one was actually a great bet. You can see that Caesars was completely bugging the fuck out. But it does look like it's corrected itself. So this will go away shortly. Yeah, it looks like Caesars actually just closed all their lines for this game. It looks like they've actually closed their bets for this Illinois game. Let's just keep going. Caesars against Akambi and MGM. The signal's not strong enough, so I honestly would stay away from that. Russell Westbrook, alts. Yeah, this is a good bet. I mean, it's good against FanDuel, which is our player prop sharp. It's also good against DK and just basically everything. So we will go ahead and lock this in. One of the nice things about our bet tracker, which you guys are going to have access to very, very soon, is that you'll actually be able to save these graphs. So you'll be able to go back. It's kind of like a VOD review or like a game plan review. You're going to be able to go back and see exactly what you saw at that moment. You'll be able to see, you know, this was the chart. These were the odds. This was the drop-down table. You can kind of use that as like a game review to revise your betting strategy over time. And like, I don't think anyone really does that. They just show you the entry. They just show you this thing on your left-hand side. But you're gonna be able to also go ahead and click into these graphs. All right, back into it. Yeah, I don't really want to take FanDuel against these other books, so we can ignore that one for now. Let's look at this total. What else? Do we like this DraftKings bet? DraftKings is just such a mega outlier here, but yeah, it looks like their line dropped, so can't do anything there. Golden State Warriors. Yeah, it looks like the FanDuel line dropped actually, so we can't do anything with that. What we do want to do is camp this line. Actually, you can see DraftKings finally corrected itself after what is this, like 2 minutes? So it looks like that bet was actually good. I'll leave that pinned here just in case we ever go back to it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pin this. Yeah, this looks decent against FanDuel. Looks decent against everything else, so I wouldn't mind taking this. Let's go ahead and add this to our tracker. And again, if you guys don't understand, this is just a demo, so we're not actually placing the bets ourselves, but we're using the bet tracker, the bet tracker as kind of a proxy for that. But to show you guys, right, we do have these deep links, so if it says bet, that means we can actually go ahead and enter it into the bet slip for you. So that is exactly what we did here. Cool. Another thing that people have been doing, and this is a strategy that's been floating around for a little while, is actually going over to the arbitrage section and looking for bets that are arbs against penny. So if it's, you know, penny on one side and then Caesars on the other, or penny and then, you know, DraftKings, people are looking specifically for those and taking the other side. People have been using that as a signal for something that is particularly strong EV. And that isn't calculated the same way that we calculate EV. So the way we calculate EV is we take the odds for every single book we have for that line, we debig it, and then we calculate an average of that as our fair odds. And then we use that as our fair odds, and then we determine, okay, you know, DraftKings is this far from this fair odds, or FanDuel is this far from these fair odds. So that's actually different than this, you know, arb to penny thing, which some very successful Oddsview users have been using. So we can try to incorporate some of that here throughout the betting session if it does pop up. Typically, if it is strong, if it's like a 1% arb, then we will go ahead and put 1 unit on it. Yeah, but right now, right, there isn't anything, so we'll just go back on over to the live EV section. Do we like the spread here? Yeah, it looks all over the place, but it doesn't look amazing. Let's look at the Denver Nuggets total. Yeah, this MGM bet looks completely busted. And it's... You might have adjusted, actually. No, it's still plus 120. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and... I would love to lock it in. Yeah, we can go ahead and lock it in. It looks real. Let's go and nail it like that. Northern Illinois. Yeah, this looks like a complete outlier once again. Illinois versus Michigan. So we can go ahead and nail this. Let's see what else there is. Typically, the Canby books are really, really soft. They'll have a ton of error lines throughout, whether that's main lines, whether that's player props, and they tend to persist for a really long time. So when we see, or for example, when I see, error, when I see, EV for Canby, and again, the Canby books are Bet Rivers, Bet Parks, and Bailey Bet. Typically, I like to prioritize that. And also, this is a tip and trick that I mention pretty frequently, but if you're new, you don't know this. Yeah, Bet Rivers, Bet Parks, and Bailey Bet, they have the same odds provider. It's called Canby. So in 99.9% of cases, right, their odds are identical. There's a little bit more variance in pre-match betting, but it's so close that we can just say it's the same. If Bet Rivers has an EV opportunity, then it's going to exist on Bet Parks and Bailey Bet, so it's going to show up as 3 entries in your EV tab. You want to just deselect, Bet Parks and Bailey Bet just to get rid of some of those duplicates, or in this case, triples. You just leave Bet Rivers up, and if you really like a bet, you can go ahead and place it on Bet Parks and Bailey Bet. Cool. So let's get back into it. So you can see Chet Holmgren, right? Let's see. Holmgren. Yeah, this is a complete outlier to literally everything. This is like what we would call like a perfect bet, right? It's an outlier to FanDuel, which is, like a player prop sharp for NBA. And then it's just completely off to everything else. You can actually see this bet is dropping in and out though. So we do actually want to make sure that it's placeable. And you can actually see that there was most likely a game event here, which is why Bet Rivers shut down their line. But we are going to leave that pinned and try to hold on to it. What else? Ohio. Oh. What else? Yep, 45 seconds. This is good. This is, and we'll just go over this, right? Oh, never mind. I was going to talk about, how the odds are super, super high here, and technically it might be EV, but it's not going to be a very good bet. Illinois total. Wow, this is so extremely off. Let's see, West Michigan. Second quarter total. Yeah, this looks pretty good. This is a first half total. First half total. It looks like DraftKings has been, in general, the outlier. So when it was, way too high here and then way too low here. But it looks like it's settled. And yeah, I mean, in this situation, we would have wanted a FanDuel just to be safe, but it looks like we don't have that right now. Or, for example, FanDuel doesn't have those odds up. So, yeah, let's stay away from that one for now. Let's see what else we can work with. Not amazing. this could have been pretty good, but it looks like it's actually dropped. Let's just double check if it's dropped actually. Let's just double check. 215. Yeah, it's dropped to 295, minus 295. Could still be really good. This is still minus 700. I think we might still want to take this one. If it's still available, minus 310. Yeah, I think this still looks good. All right, we'll still lock this in. This is still available, actually. Jalen Williams. All right. FanDuel, not the biggest fan of taking it against FanDuel. This against Camby and Caesar, it's not really enough data, to be honest with you. Jalen Williams. Yes, this is a really good bet. You know, this is DraftKings off against FanDuel. Let's go ahead and just double check. Yep, this is 180. We want to go ahead and lock this one in. And yeah, so I could do this basically all night. It's honestly pretty simple. Again, right, you guys can see that in terms of the work, 90% of it is this tool, right? You're paying money for a tool that's giving you high quality stuff. There is a little bit of user, I guess, experience that's required to, you know, learn how to use a tool that's as powerful as this, that gives you as much data as this. And it's very different than tools that, you know, spit out, you know, plays at you, tools like OddsJam that don't really give you much wiggle room to determine if this actually is an EV bet or not, which is pretty important. So yeah, the purpose of these tutorials is to give you guys the information and the experience needed to take advantage of a powerful tool like Oddsview. So if you guys have any questions, right, you guys can reach out in our Discord, which has like 2,500 people in it now. You can also reach out in the YouTube comments, and you know, hope you guys enjoyed, and look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments.